Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Wow, that's a hearty good morning. Thank you all for being here. We want to first acknowledge some of our honored guests. My name is Howard Jordan. I am the program coordinator for the Pre-Academy, and some of you may know me in my previous life. I was the police chief in Oakland, so it's nice to be back here on campus giving back to this wonderful community. I want to introduce our chancellor, Dr. Laguerre, who's here to my left. Seated next to Dr. Laguerre is our president of the Merritt College, Dr. Galvez. Seated next to Dr. Galvez is our wonderful mayor of the city of Oakland, Ms. Libby Schaff. Seated next to Mayor Schaff is Assistant Chief from the Oakland Police Department, Paul Figueroa. And seated next to Assistant Chief Figueroa is Assistant Chief Amanda Snowden from the California Highway Patrol. And seated to her left is the founding person, the champion, the person who's been dreaming of this opportunity for 10 years, Miss Margaret Dixon. And right on cue is our student who is already enrolled in the class. You have to grab a seat there. Jesus, he's seated over here. So he is one of our students, one of our 30 students who are enrolled in the class already. We also have some other honored guests here. We'd like to honor from the Peralta College District Trustee, Mr. Bill Withrow, is also here. Sergeant Jason Scott is here from the Bay Area Rapid Transit Police, the BART Police. Also here is retired police chief and one of my mentors, former lieutenant from the Oakland Police Department, Charles Gibson. And seated to the right is interim dean of special programs and grants, Mr. Romeo Garcia, Dr. Garcia. And Jesus, our student. We also have some of our Administration of Justice staff members that are here. Retired CHP Lieutenant Elaine Wallace. Where are you, Elaine? Ms. Wallace. And Mr. Ron White, who's retired from the Alameda County Sheriff's Department. Is here. And last but certainly not least, one of our instructors who I call him, sorry ma'am, the mayor of West Oakland, Keith Dodds, who's here. So on behalf of Merritt College staff, we want to welcome all of you here to this program. We truly appreciate your support. And as I mentioned earlier, this program has been in its inception for about 10 years. And Margaret Dixon, who many of you know is a former police officer, but most of you probably know her for her community work, has been working on this concept and trying to get it off the ground for a long period of time. I was fortunate enough to be asked by Margaret to help her sort of carry it over the goal line, but a lot of the heavy lifting was done by Margaret, and we truly appreciate your effort. So with that said, I'd like to open the floor to comments by Dr. Laguerre, followed by Dr. Galvez, Mayor Schaff, and Margaret Dixon in that order. So.
Good morning, everyone. When you hear the number of people, the number of retired police officers, chief of police, and the different agencies that are involved in this particular academy, in this particular program, you have to be impressed. One of the beauties of the community college is that we train people not for the community college, but we train them for the community. So if we are preparing people to work with our police officers, to work on our police forces, it is important that the police departments have the appropriate opportunity to not only give input, feedback, but also to be intimately involved in the program. What you are doing, those of you who are involved with the program, you are ensuring that the workforce that we are preparing for you is as adequate, as competent as the workforce needs to be. Many times, people get an education, but the education is not relevant to the work that they need to do. And a lot of times it's because either we as higher education institutions do not invite the employers to be part of the education, or the employers are not interested in getting involved in the education. When they are, they don't need to retrain the people that they hire because they're already well trained, because they participate in that education. And that is why when someone gets an education at a community college, the person is ready for work because we care about our employers and we want them to be involved. I have been here now for 2 months and 4 days in the area. Not that I'm counting, but I have to say that I am so impressed with community engagement, how our elected officials, how our business leaders, how they care about what we do. And I think that is important for Peralta Community College District. It's important for Merritt, and it is important for our students. So I want to say thank you to the elected officials, especially to Mayor Schaaf, who welcomed me very warmly as soon as I got here. I also want to say that at one point, I didn't believe that I could call a program the faculty's program. But after what we heard, it took Professor Dixon 10 years to get us here. So it is important that we honor her and that we tell her this is indeed her program. And with that, we know that she's going to take it to where it needs to be. I want to congratulate President Embris Galavis for the vision, for the support that she's providing to this program. And I want to commend the students who are already participating and those who will participate in this program, because your future will be in good hands. And we want to thank you for not being selfish, but for dedicating your life, your entire life, completely to making sure that we are a very secure community. And with you helping us, we know that we can progress to where we need to be. So I want to welcome everyone to Merritt College and to Peralta Community College District, and want you to know that we do want to partner in the best way possible with you. Thank you for being here today.
Good morning. This is a very joyful day for me to see Margaret's dream get accomplished, but also a personal accomplishment for myself. Many of you do not know, as president of Merritt College, 2 years ago I had the privilege of being selected as president of a college that really develops leaders. And what I quickly learned is that these students that we have here are our future leaders of our community. And they are very passionate about changing their lives, making a difference in the community, because they understand the hardships in this community. So similar to that, many, many decades ago, knowing that hardship sometimes can be the motivation, I was motivated to make a difference in my community. My major, my degree, is in criminal justice administration. I was going to be that police chief in my community to make a difference, to make sure that those that needed to be served were served properly. When I came to this district, I realized that I was working with individuals that had the same goal, the same passion that I always had. So instead of becoming the police chief in my early dreams, I became the college president of trying to, again, influence the decision makers and making sure we continue to serve our community in a manner that it deserves to be, but more and especially to make sure that we create the atmosphere that gives confidence and assurance that we are growing our own. That's the message that I heard. We need to grow our own, make sure that the officers that we have serving in this community are trained by us and are serving our community because they know our community. And we have examples of that in our own police force and in our city government right now. So again, it is with great pleasure to see this academy continue now and foster that growth, and we will be honored to have every graduate represent Peralta and Merritt College. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Libby Schaff, and I have the incredible honor of serving as mayor of my hometown, Oakland, California. Oakland is part of a critical national conversation about policing and about justice. And we recognize that to advance policing, to advance justice, we need people from this community to be the guardians of this community. So I could not be more thrilled than to congratulate Margaret Dixon. There's a reason that it took you 10 years, and it's because this actually was the time that this program was meant to launch. Because this is a very important time around criminal justice. This country is recognizing that we need to modernize, we need to collaborate, we need to approach policing and our justice systems with a new sense of progressive values, which Oakland has always been in the lead of, as well as an effectiveness to create the type of safety that this community deserves. This program is going to go a long ways to accomplishing those goals. By enrolling in this program, by coming through the Peralta Community College system, you are going to be part of an incredible moment in history where you have the opportunity to transform what safety, what justice means for this community, which is your community. So I could not be more thrilled to see the leadership of Ms. Dixon, who has really proven her passion for this subject over the many years of service and commitment. Our former chief, Chief Jordan, who we have worked together for 16 years, who I know also brings this commitment and belief in modern policing, progressive policing, to advancing what criminal justice means in Oakland and in this region. So congratulations, and you have my full support. I'm very excited about getting more homegrown talent into our police department so that we can be the compassionate and effective guardians of this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you so much, Chancellor, and to our President, Dr. Galavis. Thank you so much for all of your support. And to my students who they know that I love dearly, I love you. And I often tell you that I love you. This is all for you. In my heart of heart, you know that I tell you all the time how much I believe in you. I was the little girl in this community, running around West Oakland, not sure where I wanted to go. Didn't quite know the police, but didn't care for the police. But I knew as I grew up that I could make a difference by joining it. And this is what I say to my students. We're going to stop complaining. We're going to be part of a system that we know that we can change. This is what this is all about. I just happen to be lucky. I just happen to be lucky. And the man sitting over here to my right, he was thinking about what he wanted to do, and I just gave him something to do. Because I knew that during my career, he was always supported me. And as I look around this room today and all the folks that are here, from my brother, Charles Gibson, Jason, Keith, Reagan, all of you that are here today to witness this, you know how hard I've been trying. But I couldn't have done it without you. All the meetings we had, all the talk that we have had about how can we make a difference in this community. See, I believe when they tell me that young people don't want to be police officers, I say, oh, yes, they do. It's how you sell it to them. See, they have to believe in what you're saying, because they're so used to people telling them just anything. But I'm saying that I'm going to be with you through the whole process. And I guarantee you, if I can do it, you can do it. So they just need to see people that look like them and believe in them. See, police work is still alive. You just got the right people, get the right people in there to do it. So I'm saying here at Merritt College, we're going to show them we're going to be number one. We're going to produce them the number one public safety. Number one. My students understand true community, because we talk about community every day. We talk about it. It's nothing in the media that we don't talk about. And that's what they want to do, is be able to vent, understand what's happening, because they don't quite understand processes and procedures. So we explain all that to them. They love the instructors, because I've brought people in that I know that understand them and love them unconditionally. And that's what they need. Yes, we have problems. Everybody has problems. Yes, this community, this city has problems, but every city comes with some problems. But my thing is to them, and they promise to them, I would put instructors in front of you that would not judge you, would take you the way you are. And this, what this program is, I want you to understand what an academy is, because you go into it, you're shocked. This is why folks wash out of academies. It's too much for them. So here at Merritt, we're going to show you from day one. Day one you walk in that academy, it's a live academy. It's not TV, it's live. And you're going to get what you need to get, so that when you decide, whatever way you decide, wherever you decide to go, you're going to be ready. I'm telling these agencies, if you decide to sign up these students for Merritt College, you got yourself something. We producing winners here. If you want to be on my team, we producing winners here. I want to bring somebody up. I want to bring Figueroa up here, because Figueroa was on my team from the beginning. He came up here, and he started a mini pre-academy. We had one class, and he put them through the PT, put them through all the rigorous of the search and seizure and everything. And I want to thank you for this, Assistant Chief, because every time, I got him on speed dial. I got him on speed dial, and they know how I feel when I say, I need you to come up here to Merritt. I got something going on in Merritt, and you come talk to my kids. They concerned about something, they upset about something, come see my kids. He's always there. So I want to allow you just to talk about your vision, all right? If you don't mind doing that for me. Thank you.
So first of all, thank you. You know, Margaret and I are siblings, but from different mothers. But at some point, we're of the same blood, because we have been dreaming and thinking about things and this for a long time. And Chief, I'm so grateful you signed on to do this. It really means a lot. It's going to make such an impact on so many kids' lives. And I know you know how to run an academy, so I'm just. Fair warning to those that are going to go through it, but I think you'll find a great experience. When we did it the first time, I will say I did as many push-ups as anyone in the class, so and that was fun. But no, we had a great time. Some of the people from the first class actually went on into law enforcement and became officers. And that's really what it's about. I went to UCLA for a short time. I call it University of Lower Alameda. I went to Alameda, so I did go to Peralta colleges for a while, and it had a big impact on me. And I have to tell you, I actually learned the most about writing at Alameda College. So the professors there really took time to sit down and do it, and that's such a big part of this job. And I have to say, I mean, when you look at those that the Peralta College District hires to teach, it's really top-notch people. And so I'm so glad the program's here. It's going to give us a real opportunity to get the high school to college to police department pipeline going so that we can have more Oaklanders here. There are long-term visions that Margaret and I dream about, and President and Chancellor, I'll put you on the spot. But I think it's crazy that we don't have a degree program where you start when you're 18 and finish in about 2.5 years with a degree and your police academy certificate. I think that there's longer-term visions for this. This is a great program that certainly matches best practices in the country. But I think that this district in Oakland and other agencies, our partners at CHP, the Alameda County Sheriff's Department, Probation Department, and all of our other law enforcement agencies, we can really push that conversation because learning is a process. It takes a while. And the longer we can do it, and as they're going through college, they can work on community service projects, they go on ride-alongs, they see how all of those things work. We work with students to help them build relationships with nonprofit organizations and other organizations throughout the city over the course of their education, so that when they graduate, and either they go through the academy or way down the road, they graduate with the academy certificate, they've got relationships in the community that are already built right when they hit the street, because that's how you reduce crime over the short and medium and long term. And so this program is phenomenal. Thank you so much for making it happen. A couple years ago when you took over, President, we had a lot of long conversations about our partnership and where to go, and you have really stood by your word and made it happen. So thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor, for all your support as well as the program. So thank you.
Okay, I think I was almost ready to run back downtown and sign up again after that Margaret speech. All right, that's how she is. So I was actually sitting on my couch when Margaret called me and asked me to get out of my comfort zone and come back and start teaching, and she's a great inspiration to all of us. So thank you, Margaret. I want to acknowledge a couple other people that are here today, and from the behind every program, if you know how college's institution works, there's got to be someone that's pushing paper, making sure your equipment is on time, your pay is done correctly, signing instructors for the academy, getting all the paperwork done. We're fortunate to have someone in our division who's been doing that, and her name is Denise Woodard. She's here today. I want to thank her. She does the work of about 15 people, and I know that I'm a pretty demanding person at times, and I send a lot of emails and stuff, so she's been able to manage all my emails, and I thank her for staying patient and being on top of things so we can have this program running in a smooth operation. The other person I want to thank is Ms. Reagan Harmon, who's from the City of Oakland, part of our public safety program. For those of you who don't know, Reagan is from Oakland, and she is part of the police department, very committed to public safety, very committed to helping young people realize their dream, and a true inspiration to all of us with the work that she's done in this community. Also want to welcome Jeff Collins from the Police Foundation. We will be asking for money later on, so it's good to have him here. But before we get to Q&A, I'd like to call upon one of our students who's been in the program to come and say a few words. Jesus, come on up.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? That's good to hear. Personally, when I hear them speak, I get goosebumps. When I think of them and Ms. Dixon's story, I think of myself. Reason because I grew up in East Oakland, and to have this opportunity to come into college and work closely with an ex-chief of police, former OPD, anybody in here, I am grateful. I'd like to get that forward right now. It is an honor to be here. Personally, I can't wait for this to start because it's a step forward. I came from a single parent household, and I'm ready to, put in my work for my community. It wasn't always easy. Sorry, get a little goosebumps. But it's not always easy. You gotta put your head up high, look to the sky. When Ms. Dixon speaks, I see a breadth of us, personally, us safety aides, and anybody who's willing to put into work to clean up the streets. I'm here to represent, and I love the fall semester. Reason why we have more volunteering going on. And when we do volunteering, it's always in the hood, what you guys like to call it. And when the people ask, where are you guys from? I live 2 blocks off here, 96 and Walnut. I stay right there. That's where we did our turkey drive. That's where Ms. Dixon sent us, and I love it. I can't wait. I really want to thank you guys for everything. It's a very good pleasure. Thanks for the life-changing opportunity. I'd love to say that. Thank you.
Okay, I just saw someone from the Alameda County Sheriff's Department is here, Officer Bridges. If you know, they're responsible for the policing on campus, but part of the academy will be also going to the Sheriff's Department to learn how to drive, at least for 4 hours. And as you know, that's a very challenging part of the academy, is learning how to drive. So we thank them for being able to do that. So at this point, I'd like to open it up to anyone for questions and answers to anyone on the panel, or any questions for myself. But if you have a particular person you want to answer your question, you can direct it to them as well. So, questions? Oh, I'm sorry. This is Assistant Chief Snowden from our own CHP. Sorry.
That's for you back there. Oh. McClimans, I think there's 2 of you there. Okay, well first I really just want to thank you guys for the opportunity of being here today. Ms. Dixon and over here, retired Chief Jordan, thank you, because one of the things that I often hear throughout my career is, what is CHP's role in the community in Oakland? I grew up in Oakland. I grew up, actually, you said you're on Walnut. I grew up on 98th and Holly. So, exactly, right. So, born there, ended up going to Castlemont High School, was fortunate enough to receive a basketball scholarship to Cal Berkeley, which is where I graduated before coming on the patrol. So, when we're talking about opportunities, that's exactly what we're talking about over there. This thing is also about opportunities and relationships. And we're just fortunate as a department. We have a lot of opportunities right now. We are actively recruiting, and we're looking for members that represent the cities and the communities that we serve. And that's basically what it's about. So for me, when I was growing up in Oakland, I was just like you. What am I gonna do with my life? I know I wanted to do something that was service-oriented, as when you grow up and you're playing sports and you're doing all these things in the church, all I could think about is, wow, how am I gonna continue to serve? And what am I gonna do? So it was someone else on the outside who told me about CHP. So when I got an opportunity to come onto the department, never look back. It's been a very rewarding career, so I am extremely ecstatic about whatever role we're able to play. Chancellor, just like you started a couple months ago. I started on the 1st. So my promotion was September the 1st, so I'm more than excited to come back home. That promotion brought me back to the Bay Area, so I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you and bringing whatever resources and things we can do, be it having having people be a part of our Explorer programs while they're waiting to go into the academies, working with the high schools, the colleges, and just doing what we can as a department to be there. But this program, recruiting our next partner, is awesome, and because that's kind of the way I see it, is an opportunity for us to reach out and show what we can do right now, before the person comes on. So wish you success, and anything we can do, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Thank you.
So in fairness, I'd like to call on Bart, please, to say a few words. Jason, you're never lost for words, so.
So, good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm from BART PD, as they said, by way of, I spent almost 14 years at the Oakland Police Department. So, as you see, Oakland, we're sprinkled a little bit everywhere now. But this program, when Ms. Dixon called me about this, her son and I actually graduated from college together, so I call her Mama, because, right, we don't call grown folks by their name where I'm from. But this is very important because I, too, am a product of the junior college system. And I went to Merced College before going to Cal State Hayward, not East Bay. I went to Hayward, and then coming on, and I'm a country boy. I'm from Atwater, California. Anybody ever heard of Atwater? Yeah, that's where I'm from. But my wife and I have made Oakland our home. We're raising our kids here. We bought a home here. And so it's very important for me, is now, it seemed like just yesterday I was starting, but now I'm turning into an old head. So we need some of you young people to come and carry that torch. There's been a lot of roads paved and a lot of bricks paved, but you can do it at any police department, and I'm telling you, BART is a great place to do it. So for those of you who are interested in law enforcement, I'll leave my card with Ms. Dixon with my phone number on it. And just like everybody else said, anything that we can be of help with, please let us know. A lot of people have misconceptions about what we do at BART, but please come out, do a ride-along. When you see an officer in the station, challenge our officers, because ask them what are we doing as an organization to build, rebuild, and to keep the community's trust. And they should be able to tell you, because the list is very long, and we continue to try to find ways to make ourselves better. So please, as you all know, we're getting ready to open 2-3 new BART stations. The department's growing. The whole BART district's growing, and I can honestly say there's not a bad job at BART. So please, whatever you need, whether it's school, I live local, I have no problem coming in on my days off. Especially if mama calls me, I gotta come anyway. So please, everybody stay focused. Ultimately knowledge is power, and we're not gonna change anything if we can't get into those books and get that knowledge. So anything that I can be of help personally, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.
I just wanted to say, before folks leave, Jason is also going to be teaching 2 classes at Skyline. All right, he's going to be taking that community relation class and an intro to criminal justice to Skyline High School. So thank you, and I know the kids are going to enjoy it.
All right, our last speaker will be none other than my mentor, person that I've worked for actually as a young sergeant in patrol for 3 years, and he was a good lieutenant at that time. He went on to become the police chief of the Contra Costa County Community College District. Retired Chief Charles Gibson, please.
John Madden, the former coach of the Oakland Raiders, once said, "There's 3 types of people in the world. Those that watch things happen, those that make things happen, and those who don't know what the hell is happening." Here we have a group of people who make things happen. After 30 years in Oakland and 10 years with the College District, I decided to retire. But you never retire when you work with Margaret Dixon. Because she always is there for you, and she will always call you to assist her. And I am more than willing to help in any way I can to help Margaret get this program up and going. I'm a student of Alameda College, of Merritt College, and of Cal State East Bay and Cal State Hayward. My undergraduate was Hayward, my master's was East Bay, so two different colleges. But I think this is a wonderful program that gives us the opportunity to prepare the future leaders of law enforcement in the cities and counties of Alameda and the Oakland Police Department. So thank you, Margaret. I'm here for you and for anyone in the college.
Okay, any questions from the audience that we can answer before we wrap this up? Yeah, Jeff.
Chief Figueroa, I think the CHP chief touched on the recruiting aspect. Can you talk about how this might help Oakland police recruit more officers? I guess in other agencies too. I guess a lot of agencies.
Yeah, I mean, I think very clearly we've been directing people at the Oakland Police Department to come learn about criminal justice here through the college. We've given people Margaret's cell phone directly and in the field at times. So it just gives us a chance. For us, selfishly, here in Oakland, we have a location right here in Oakland where we can direct Oaklanders to learn about law enforcement. Maybe they're on the fence about whether they actually want to get into the field or not, and we think they're a really good candidate. We can send them here where they can learn and understand criminal justice, and hopefully we can get them into the Police Department. I certainly hope to recruit all of the students that are here. No, there's some competition up here. So, but this is just a great opportunity for us to reach in, and particularly to recruit out of our Oakland high schools, where we are teaching in the high schools now. We have officers in high schools, and we're connecting it to the program here. And so it's really creating that pipeline at different areas throughout Oakland as a feeder system for us to hire Oaklanders as a part of the process.
Add something.
Yeah.
So in order to apply for the Oakland Police Department's Academy, you have to be 21 years old. And so this program not only allows someone to prepare during those years between 18 and 21, but this is a rigorous academy. It's very competitive. And so by the time someone has completed this program, they are going to get in our academy. And I just want to make very clear that there are jobs available. There are jobs available. We are hiring constantly right now. And part of it is, of course, Figueroa accepted, our department is aging. So we are.
That's true.
We are seeing a lot of retirements, and so we've got to continually recruit to fill those retirements. But also, I have committed to also growing the size of the Oakland Police Department to 800 over the next 3 years. And so we are hiring. There are great jobs available in the Oakland Police Department. And if you read today's Chronicle, if you read yesterday's Chronicle, you should know that the Oakland Police Department is now being recognized nationally. We had someone from the White House here yesterday validating that this department is one of the most progressive, dynamic, changing, advanced departments in the country. So we encourage you to come join the Oakland Police Department.
Hold on a second. Can we get a microphone to him?
Yeah, just in the recent 3 years, we just found that many students who graduate from the police academy, and we found that most of them they are not Oakland residents. Yeah, so is it the reason why you and the Oakland government run this program?
Yeah, if I understand your question, there's a number of students that are police officers that graduated from the academy that weren't Oakland residents. And is your question, is this one of the reasons why we're doing this program? Yes, this is part of the reason that we're doing, that we want to attract people from this community so that they can serve in this community. I think we mentioned that earlier, that in order for you to have a valid or worthwhile community policing effort, you have to have people from this community, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. I think we have 30 students in our class right now, and most of them are from this community. There might be a few outliers. We also have a waiting list for next semester that we're generating. So then the class actually filled up fairly quickly within probably 2 or 3 weeks, and we're still getting requests from other students who did not weren't able to register in time because we're only limiting it to 30 students at this point. So yes.
And if I can just add, let's be clear that we are not satisfied with the current percentage of Oakland police officers that are either from this community or who currently live in this community. We're very committed to increasing the percentage of officers that have connections to the community where they are the guardians, as well as ensuring that our department also looks like the community they serve as far as its diversity, its language capacities. All of those things are absolutely important to us, and we recognize that we have work to do to get there, and this program is an incredibly important piece of getting to that goal.
Do you have another question over there?
So first of all, I want to applaud everyone here. You're amazing. This is an incredible program. Last night was an amazing event. I think there's some really creative things going on here. My question is, assuming best case scenario, this pipeline exists, what are we going to do to retain these amazing people in the future versus getting them picked off to Seattle and the great places where they're going to do some of the work that they've done here?
Yeah, I think very, very clearly retention is something we continuously think about. And there are a lot of things we're doing from just being seen as a front runner in the industry. For a long time, we haven't been seen that way. So we've been retooling how we provide training, how much training we can provide. One of the things that's one of the pillars to a police department is the investigation division. And for a long time, Oakland, that was really seen where you wanted to go. You eventually wanted to get to detectives and things, and we fell back a little bit in how we did that. And so, but now, when we go to investigations, this is one example of many. There's a very set regimen of training that they'll go to. There's a set regimen of how they progress through that division, and very consistent and in line with other agencies around the country. So we've slowly been adding in those things that really draw people to the Oakland Police Department, and we've increased our federal partnerships. And so a lot of officers now are getting opportunities to join these and have these task force experiences. We actually had to constrict that for some time because of staffing. And so as we see our numbers grow, we'll begin to build in a lot of those things in the department. One example we like to use is you can actually fly a helicopter at the Oakland Police Department. Not a lot of agencies do that. And so there's a lot of really cool things that we do. And we've grown that program a little bit as well, that as we grow, and thank you, Mayor, so much for that. And we have so many dreams of where to go as we get more officers. That has a lot to do with it. We're doing a lot more in terms of wellness within the organization. That's key to keeping staff longer. And so you're seeing things slowly roll out. And I do want to say that having trust with the community is what it's all about. It's the name of the game when it comes to policing. So you work on those things internally, and we have been doing some real heavy lifting around how we interact with our community and building trust with our community. And when officers feel valued, when they feel their strong trust with the community, when they feel their strong trust from our political leaders and all of those around us, and a support system in place, that will go an amazing way to help keep Oakland police officers in Oakland. It's something we're passionate about, and something we're going to continue to drive on as we move forward.
Just as evidence that these things are working, in the last 6 months of 2014, we had 11 officers leave Oakland to go to other departments. In the first 6 months of 2015, only 1. So it is working.
You know, I just want to say that I think that community engagement is going to be a big piece. Most individuals that make an investment in a community usually stay in a community. And so once our community embrace the officers and make them feel valuable, and that works both ways, I think we're gonna see the retention change. I think it's gonna change, and I truly believe that, because here on this campus, when we talk about community, and that's something that we really express, the value of a community. And when you come into an agency, you know, I want my students to think in terms of not just the money, because that gets old, but what are you bringing to that community, the value of it? What you're gonna do to change it, to make a difference. You heard the students say that I take my students out in the community. See, learning can take place not just in the classroom, but outside, and I truly believe that. I take them out there because this is the community that they're gonna serve. So I don't want them to be shocked. So this is why we go early. Look around you. Go up and talk to people, don't be afraid. Ms. Jones wanna talk to you. She wants to talk to you and tell you what her problems are. So as students, we go out in those communities now, then they can make a decision as to where they wanna go.
A couple of times there's been mention of the high schools and the work that we're doing, and so what do you feel the impact in the high schools have been, and how many high schools are we involved with, and you know, are students really indicating that they're interested in pursuing this field?
Great, so there's three, how much time do I have, Margaret? 1 minute. 1 minute, all right, I'll do this quick. So first of all, let me just say I was recruited out of high school to Oakland PD. So the cadet program came, they did a big presentation, they did a follow-up visit, and 3 of us actually from the high school became police cadets together. And so we are at the school, the college preparatory school at Havens Court International Boulevard, and we have officers assigned there full-time that work with that school, and it's a kind of an in-school explorers program, and it's open to any Oakland Unified School District student who wants to attend. You can actually go there. A lot of exposure through the Explorer program to the police department. They visit the police department. They work internships over the summer at the police department. So that's one. We also participate in making presentations. I know at Fremont High School, Skyline High School, Margaret, and then plugs us into other high schools. And then the third way we do that is last year we had 6 schools from around Oakland, Oakland Public Schools, come to the Oakland Police Department and spend a day with officers. So we open up the doors in the morning, we do tours of the police department, they get to check out the crime lab stuff, because we don't just need cops, we need scientists as well, we need people to do the books, we need all those kinds of things, and so we're really having the high schools come to Oakland PD. I get some time with them, the chief gets some time with them, and then we sit down and break bread together and have lunch around tables, and that's a really neat time. And then we continue through the day with some additional lectures throughout, and so we have the PAL program, the Explorer program, all of those are connecting us to high schools. So we're in one way or another very formally with one school, and then we spend a lot of time in other schools doing different programs and things. So we're very well connected, but we're always looking for more, and we will be doing more this year. We have many more visits on the schedule coming up this year. Yeah. Thanks.
There's another partnership program that we're going to be announcing with Oakland Unified, but I want to keep it a secret for a couple more weeks.
All right.
Yeah, you know what I did, a couple of weeks ago, my students, I took a group of students where they met me down there. We went to the Oakland Police Department because they were hiring cadets. And so I took my students met me down there because I wanted them to be at the police department and learn what those jobs were all about. We're currently Merritt, when I say in the high schools, we've done 4 charter schools. We're in 2 high schools now, and our goal is to be in every high school and middle school doing criminal justice. That's our goal here at Merritt. I guess my goal, huh? President?
Sounds like more work for somebody. Charles, are you busy? That's what I said. All right, if there are no other further questions, we would like to end this program. We really thank all of you for your support. We thank you, the President, the Chancellor, the Mayor, OPD, CHP, all of our law enforcement partners, our students, If you do have homework or assignments, please make sure you get them done by, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, that's the professor part of me. All right, well, thank you again, and enjoy the weekend.